Hi everyone, this is Catherine. I was actually asked by one of the members of Life's a Scrap Beach on how I made my fabric flower. What I did was, this is just an album that I ended up doing. Let me just zoom out a little bit. This is an album that I had made originally for a class, but unfortunately with the summer months, classes just don't seem to fill out as much, so it had been canceled, but I still have my wonderful creation that I feel like it took me a lot of time to make, so I'm going to end up filling it with pictures and whatnot. So what they were really interested in was the flower. So I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to make this flower. You can use anything as your center. I used just a flower, a mulberry paper flower that I had received from Carla S001 from her Etsy store. I will post her link down below, but this one I'm just going to do with a little bit of a different center just so you get an idea of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to move this aside. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so what you're going to start off with, and it might be a little tough to see, but I think you can see it, is this elastic jewelry cord on a needle. And you're going to need just a piece of cardstock. I just cut it out of a scallop instead of a circle. Anything just to put the base of your flower onto once you're done. And then you need your material. So what I find tends to work really well for me is I have this satin material that I've cut, and I think it's at 2 inches wide. So you'd be folding it in half when you're doing the process, and then your choice of what your centers will be. So I haven't quite decided, but I have these 3 buttons that I'm trying to decide on what I'm going to use, but I'll decide that at the end. So I'm just going to show you quickly how this works. So I'm just going to take this material, and I always usually start on this end just because that's just the way that I sew. Anyways, I'm not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect because you can't really see where your sew line is once you're completely done. So you just need to make sure you have a long enough piece that you're going to leave a tail at the end so that you are able to tie. And if you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just doing a running stitch all the way across. So I keep it folded and I just do a running stitch. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be even. You just run the stitch all the way across. And every once in a while you just pull it through. Now I did learn this technique off of YouTube, and I apologize to the person that had this posted on YouTube. I can't remember who it was that I learned it from, so I can't give the credit where it's due, but it is not my own original creation, just for those of you that do know. So you do know that when I'm doing this, I'm teaching you this because I got it from somewhere else. So I'm just going to start back over here, pull my thread, and keep going. And your thread is always going to be a little bit shorter than what your actual material is, because you want to be able to scrunch it up and just be able to make the ruffles in it so that your flower can have all the different ruffles. Now I find that the tighter that you do your running stitch, so I'm actually doing them probably 1 centimeter apart, my ruffles might not be as tight, but if you do have a tighter running stitch, then you could probably end up doing, you know, a little bit more of a tighter curl or ruffle. So you just pull it, and as you can see, the material's already starting to curl. So let me just try and finish this up. So unfortunately my way of doing my videos does not tell me the time frame that I'm at, which really kind of sucks for me because I can't tell if I'm going over the time limit or not until after I'm completely done. So let's just do this as quick as I can. And I actually just went to a local fabric store, and I just, I only bought like maybe a quarter of a meter, because you get so much in that quarter of a meter that's all that I really need to be able to make so many different flowers. So I just picked up a whole bunch of different colors of the satin material, so that this way I could do as many flowers as I wanted and stuff. And I think it's just really cute handmade flowers that you could adjust and do whatever. Oh, I lost the thread out of it. Here I did all the running stitch and the thread just came right out. And the one thing that I'm finding is that it's really tough to find a needle that has the perfect hole size that is not too big, so that your thread doesn't actually fall out. So unfortunately mine fell out, so I gotta start all over here again. Got all that way through, and don't worry if you don't get it through the same holes, because like I said, you won't see it. You just keep going. I'm wondering if I got this tutorial from Mo Scrap. I don't remember. Please forgive me again. I wish I could remember who it was that I got the technique from, because I just love this technique. I've used it numerous times already on other personal projects and stuff. So it's just something that I find very easy to do, and they're great little gifts for people that like to have their own flowers and stuff like that to use on projects. And this way, it's inexpensive for me to make and give away as well. So what I'm going to do is, in this video, is I'm going to try and get it completed in the time frame and have it posted on my blog. I do have a giveaway already on YouTube and my blog for subscribers and followers. I haven't quite hit that yet. I'm actually quite surprised, but hoping that you guys will check out those videos, and also comment, make sure you're a follower and a subscriber. And as soon as I reach those numbers, I will definitely be doing a draw. My YouTube 200 subby giveaway is the Tim Holtz clock die, and for my 150 followers, I've got a stamp from La La Land, and I'll be adding probably a few other things alongside with that. I've got probably some alcohol inks, and I'll probably put in some of my own personal creations and stuff like that, using some of the products that I'm giving away, so that you have ideas on how to use them. That's the one thing that I like to do. So I'm just about done here. Like, you want to leave a tail for both ends with the elastic cord or the elastic thread, because you need to be able to tie it and sew it through to make the flower. Okay, so just at the end here. And it is a little tougher to pull through, just because it is an elastic threading as opposed to it being regular thread, so it's not as smooth going through. But that's what you want in order to keep it, so that you can have your shape. So here we have, and I'm just going to take it off the needle for now, just because I can rethread it after. So you have this material with the thread in here, and you just want to pull. All you do is you just pull to the tightness that you want, and you just keep pulling your thread so that you can keep pulling and dragging. I'm just going to pull this down so that I have a little bit more to work with, and making it a little bit tighter in areas that I want. And the smaller that you want your flower, the tighter you're going to make your ruffles. Just that this way it's not as big. But because I used a 2-inch wide material, going to be difficult to make this flower very small. So this flower is probably about 3.5 inches, 3 to 3.5 inches in width by the time I'm done. So as you can see, I have one piece here which will end up folding over so that you won't be able to see where that ruffled end is, or the tattered end, and the same will go with the back side so that you don't see it. And usually what I like to do is I like to tuck it into the center. So if you see on the back side, I tuck it into the center. This way you don't actually see that portion, but it doesn't really matter. It just depends on, like I said, how small you want to make it, how big you want to make it, how tight of a flower it is that you want to have. So I just want to make this a little bit more layered. So I'm just going to fumble it to the way that I like. So I think I'm quite happy with it the way that it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-thread my needle, if I can pick it up. Okay. So like I said, because I don't want that portion showing, I'm just going to do this, pull it through, and so when I fold it and I'm making my flower, I'm just going to poke this right through to the other side. And as like I said, it doesn't matter what it looks like, because you really won't see all of this. This is just to make the flower portion. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this and fold it. No, it's hard. I'm going to fold it. And because I know where it is, I'm just going to take this thread on the back side. I'm just going to push it through to the front. And trust me, I am no perfect sewer. I'm actually not the greatest sewer. So I'm just going to push it back through. Grab a couple on the other side. Sorry, I'm just, so that you can see, I'm just trying to get all the ends to stay together. And then again, I'm going to just poke this through. Oop, almost lost it. And one more time. Okay, so you see, this is where my flower turned out. Oh, I actually don't like that this is still showing. So I am going to poke through another time. Just go right back in to the other side. Okay, so you see that when I came in through the other side, now I have the one end from what I started with, and then the end that I just ended with. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie them together, and I'm going to make a knot. I'm just going to double knot it, just so that it keeps the elastic from coming apart. So now that I've double knotted it, I'm just going to cut off the ends. Okay, so we just discard that, and we'll just move the needle. So now what I do, here's your flower, is trying to decide what I want for a center. Kind of like that. I'm going to just zoom in just a little bit here so that you can get a little closer look. Do I like it with this one? With the black one? I kind of like it with the black one, so it gives it a little bit more dimension. Sorry, my phone. And that's all you do. You put on your center, and then you just glue this to the back of it, and you've got yourself a flower. So thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye.